Hello fellow humans and welcome to the Madhouse. Today is Wednesday, so it should be time for Top 5 Wednesday, but it's not exactly. So instead of that I'm going to do a coffee and a chat. The reason being is that for today's topic, which is your favourite things about booktubing, I don't have 5 things, so I thought I'd briefly talk about some of them and then get on to something else. And at the moment that is in fact true. That's what curry does for you, I'm afraid. The first thing that I love about booktube and booktubing is of course the books. I picked up so many books that I would not have picked up had I not had them recommended to me by people whose opinions and reviews I'd come to trust. Things such as The Song of Achilles, which I am loving right now. I'm not very far into it, but already the prose is so magical. And then The Dead House by Dawn Cartagate. Great book, and I would never have encountered Dawn at all if it hadn't been for booktube. V.E. Schwab I'd noticed on the shelves for a while, but I wouldn't have even bothered to pick it up. And then of course there's this one, which The Girl with All the Gifts, which I am loving. And I would never have picked it up at all because I'm not a big fan of thrillers at all, but someone whose opinions and reviews I've come to trust quite well recommended it to me, so I thought I would give it a go. Number 2 and 3 are incredibly similar, because it's the people on booktube, the community, and then also the strong presence of women within the booktube community. I typically find that women get a bad experience on the internet, at least from what I've heard from various friends and other people. They seem to have to deal with a lot of sexism and even death threats and threats of rape, and it's not right. But in booktube they can be as intellectual or academic as they want without fearing retribution from some people. Booktube is, I find, a far more accepting community than many other communities, and it doesn't necessarily matter about the size of your channel, because whether you happen to have just 3 subscribers or 300,000, although I don't actually know any booktubers who have that, there are some who are close, you can still talk to one another, because the whole point of the platform is that it's there for a community as a book club that transcends distance and international boundaries, and it's wonderful. So bearing in mind that it's the people and the community that are most important, I'm going to leave a list in the description below, and if it runs on I'll also continue it onto a post on my sadly neglected blog showing all of my favourite booktubers and then female YouTubers who need more love as a whole, because if someone doesn't say these things, no one will. Someone should support people for doing good things and give them the love they deserve. This was inspired in part by the Women on YouTube tag thing that's been going around since VidCon, I believe. I don't remember when that was, but sometime in July or August. Time isn't really my thing. The idea being that female vloggers give other female vloggers a hand. Now, as I'm not female, I'm not male either, but we'll leave that to the side, it would be inappropriate for me to do it. So instead, I'll just show love, whatever. These are the people who deserve your attention. And now that we've got the Top 5 Wednesday stuff out of the way, I've got a few other things I want to talk about. I will apologise, but there is probably not going to be a video on Friday, because that's the day I'm moving back into university and I don't have an internet connection at my student house. I'm hoping to sort that one out, but I'll see what I can do. I could pre-film one, and there's one I've been working on for a while that might work wonderfully, but obviously if there isn't a video then I haven't managed to do it. I do hope to vlog the trip down to Bangor though, which I'm hoping should be up probably Saturday or Sunday at the latest. Could be fun. Another thing was that I may have to shuffle the days when I upload videos around a bit, because depending on what my new timetable is, I will have a different schedule, so I might not be able to upload on Wednesday, so the Top 5 Wednesdays will stop and I'll come up with something else to do. Or they may stay fine, but I might have to post on Saturdays instead. I'll figure something out. I also have a question. My housemate is moving into the house a week later than me, so I can be there to help him move in and do that sort of thing. But I recently also purchased 500 balloons. Would it be considered inappropriate to inflate them all and put them all into his bedroom and see what happens? Of course, that on itself is kind of boring. But, well, I might do something else with it. Maybe fill them with something other than air. Helium could be fun, but quite dangerous and expensive. Also, if any of you know a cheap way to get dry ice in the UK, and one that's legal of course, because prison is bad, I would be really interested to know, because there's something I've been working on for a while, based on something I saw several years ago, and I want to work on it. But obviously I can't just walk into the supermarket and say, "Hello, have me some frozen carbon dioxide please," because, well, it's weird. That, and I've asked and they don't stock it. I did genuinely put it like that. The lady at the till was not impressed. I'm also thinking that I might start doing more vlog videos. I'll still do my bookish ones and my rants all the time, but then occasionally I'll just be out and about and think of something. And I don't always have the time or something to write it down, because I'm rather slow typist and a writer anyway. So it might just be easier to speak it to the camera and see what happens. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have to get back to my packing. I've packed almost all of my clothes and everything, but I still have to decide what books to take. And unfortunately I can't fit all of the books on my shelves there, because 900 books won't fit in the car and they won't fit in the new house. Well, they would, but my flatmate has to actually have a room. So, without further ado, I hope you have a wonderful day. Please click like, share and subscribe. Do all of the things. So my random question of the day then is, if you could change one thing about Booktube, what would it be? Maybe you want to see more diverse people doing it. Perhaps people of various different ethnicities and races. I don't know. Or if you're not into the whole booktubing thing, if you could set up your dream book club, what would it be? Why not answer both of them? Or none, because I can't force you to anything. But it makes me happy when you do. Cheers!